Good morning. It feels like things are getting back to normal, at least a little bit here on 3+U. We still can't have guests in the studio yet, but look, we're outside on our porch, and we are so happy this morning to have a new guest on the show. This is Dr. Jennifer Eachus and Tiffany Harris. They are with Healthy Pets Mobile Veterinary Services. See if you can say that 3 times fast. Here in Chattanooga. And who have you brought with you today?
This is Pickles, and this is Squid.
So I'm sure if you're like me, I have 2 dogs and a cat at my house, and I had a dog once upon a time that had cancer, and we would have to take her to our veterinarian, and they were so gracious about coming to often pick Lacey up because it got to the point where I could not move her. But I often thought, I wish that there was a vet who would make house calls. That's you.
That's actually the dream that I had, was being able to help people that weren't able to get their pets out to a brick and mortar practice so that we could accommodate them from a health standpoint.
So what you're talking about, Tiffany, is you realize that you can't do everything in a mobile unit. So you're kind of a frontline defense, right? You're very much on the preventive side of treatment.
Absolutely. So what we can do is, and what we try to accomplish, is providing what you would need as far as your annual visit, your vaccines, your preventative care. We can also do your lab work. We can treat and do the testing for the parasites. And this is very helpful on a broad spectrum, from the pet parents that don't have the ability to get out due to disabilities, the elderly community. Then we have pets that are scared, that get upset stomachs when they take those car rides.
That's very true, actually.
Or people that have multiple pets, and it's hard to get 3 dogs and 2 cats loaded into one vehicle.
Right.
And so we tried to offer that, and then do a little bit of a step it above of doing, be able to come out, take lab work, take blood and send labs off. And so be a preventative care, and then that first step of the front line to treat your animal in the comfort of your own home. And so it's less stressful for you and for your pet.
You mentioned the fear factor that a lot of pets have in going to the veterinarian. I was having a conversation a few weeks ago about how far we've come and our understanding of dogs especially, and their needs. The day was when they just were in the backyard and roamed the street. You never thought twice about really taking care of them like family. Now people are very aware, I think, Dr. Eachus, of the concern and the fear that dogs can have.
One of the reasons that I started this practice was when I lived in another state. I had a house call practice. Cats don't want to travel. Cats like to hide under the bed. Dogs, they're more social. So yeah, the fear factor is there, and from a standpoint of feline medicine, the house calls are huge. The other thing that we do offer that sets us apart a little bit is our therapy laser, which is a non-surgical laser. It's almost like an ultrasound probe, and we're able to actually provide pain care, decrease inflammation. We're able to provide wound care with that, and it's a treatment that requires multiple treatments. So we're able to come to you, so you don't have to travel with your pet multiple times.
And so let's say that you have a dog that's older and is getting arthritic a little bit, and if it was in an office, you would just have to talk to them and kind of see how the dog walked on the floor. If you're at the house, you can, I guess, see how they navigate the stairs.
And that's absolutely correct. That is the other benefit of house call practices, is you get to see what they're doing in their natural environment, from not only just a pain standpoint, but even from a behavioral standpoint.
You mentioned the laser with wound care. Does that mean that if you have a dog who maybe had some skin allergy issues or something and was chewing a lot, it can help that?
Yes, we can use that for skin allergies. We can use it for bite wounds. We can use it post-surgically, just on wound care in general. Arthritis, bladder issues, if we have a bladder infection. Yes. Yeah.
So I bet you find this to be true, and Tiffany, you can speak to this too if you'd like, but that a lot of us begin with one animal and you love that one, and then somebody presents himself to you and you think, oh, he needs a home, and you take in another one, and before you know it, you can have 2 or 3 pets.
Absolutely.
And that's an expense.
Mhm.
And it's not that you don't love the pets, but some people just they haven't thought about factoring in that maintenance cost. So by being a mobile unit, are you able to cap your costs a little bit?
Absolutely. With that, with you having, if you do have multiple pets, from 3 to 7 pets, where we're able to go out and it is just us coming to your home and not having, as she called, the brick and mortar or as a stationary business, we are able to go out there, and so we're able to offer at a lower, more affordable rate, taking care of all of those vaccines, and so we're able to see them all at once. So you're not having to stagger out those appointments and pay a different appointment fee or office fee per pet. So we're able to take care of everyone at once.
We'll hear from a dentist a little later on in the show today who will be talking kind of about that very thing when it comes to your oral hygiene, and that you don't want to put off your maintenance because that will lead to expensive fixes down the road. Is that kind of what your hope is, that you can help people maintain their pet's care, and then when they need to go to another veterinarian for a procedure that you don't do, maybe it's minimized a bit?
Well, and we had the discussion with one of our clients yesterday. She had a litter of kittens, and I was talking with her and the kittens, and it breaks my heart because they're so small. But what we do prevents her from paying astronomical vet fees, because if we can prevent them from catching the upper respiratory infections, from catching the viral infections that kittens and puppies are so prone to catch, you are going to cut off that possibility of the IV fluids, the overnight stays at vet offices, the antibiotics. And so in the long run, preventative care, just like with your vehicle maintenance, is just the best policy to do.
I don't know if you wanted to get into this or not, so feel free to say no, that was just for your ears only. But I think you told me that before you began working with Dr. Ichis, you worked a lot with animals that maybe have been mistreated. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that something that you see occur sometimes because an animal does maybe have some health issues, and maybe they cry a lot, or they begin to not use the bathroom properly, and it makes owners frustrated and they take out on the pet?
Luckily, more than not, what I ran into was a sense of helplessness, that the owners had just gotten to a point where they were overwhelmed. Too big of a heart. They had taken on too many pets.
I see. So it was more of a neglect thing.
Or it was a situation of just education was shared with them on some simple things that could have been taken care of. And also that preventative care was not done in the very beginning. That could have taken care of those issues and solved those in the long run.
Talk about the little guys that you brought with you today, because if people
The
will
girls
look,
are out.
they are here to stay. But who is this underneath your feet?
Underneath my feet, this is Pickles. And Pickles is 5 years old. She's a French bulldog. She's paralyzed, and we adopted her about a year ago from a very good friend of mine. And she does require some special care, but she's well worth every minute of it. And then on my left here is Squidge, another special needs dog. She has some respiratory issues, and she was adopted by another family that just couldn't take care of her anymore. So yeah, they're my girls, and they travel with us wherever we go if we're out and about, and we love them. And that is one of the things, you know, if we had to pick a niche in our specialty for Tiffany and I, we are very big advocates for your senior pets. We're very big advocates for your special needs pets. You know, we are definitely about affordable care, absolutely. And we're just here to really try and help everybody that we can help.
Now, speaking of the affordable care, you were telling me that in, I guess, beginning this month maybe, or in the month of July, you're doing monthly rabies clinics. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. So we actually had our very first low-cost $10 rabies vaccine clinic at Raggedy Ann's Pet Grooming in Rossville this past Saturday. It was a very big hit. People loved it. The community was very, very supportive. and we are going to try and host one the last Friday of every month.
That's for dogs and cats?
Dogs and cats from 5 to 7 p.m. and see if the community continues to support that, and at least make sure that our pets are vaccinated for rabies, which is our state law both in Tennessee and Georgia.
Okay, so I want to stress they are not a pet grooming service, but they are a mobile veterinary service. And do you just kind of trust people to be honest with you about what their need is? If it's a preventive thing, you schedule them one way. If there's a concern, you try to get to them as quickly as possible?
Well, if it's a preventative, let's say they need heartworm preventative or they need flea and tick preventative, we require an exam. If it's heartworm preventative, we require blood work. There is adverse effects of giving a dog heartworm preventative if it is heartworm positive,
Sure.
up to it being fatal. So those are requirements. If we get there, an exam is done first. Dr. Eachus does eyes, nose, throat, checks thyroids, heart. Full exam is done before any vaccine is given.
And in terms of getting the appointment scheduled, do you get in? That's okay. Do you get in though pretty quickly, or do you have like a 2-week call time? Do you have any idea?
Right now, you're able to get in with us within a 2 to 3 day window.
That's great.
We have multiple ways you can call. We also have a Facebook page that is under the name of the business. You can search it on Facebook that way. You can message us that way. So that way, if someone does not have a cell phone number or access to a mobile number, but they have access to the internet, that way there's 2 ways to contact us to be able to get their pets in.
And how far do you service? What's your service area?
We have yet to reach a stopping point. We have gone from the starting point of Rossville. We have done Cleveland. We've gone down to Trent. We've gone to Trenton, Jasper area. We've done Lafayette, down to Dalton.
So the Channel 3 viewing area.
Absolutely.
So while the dogs take a nap here on our porch, let me show you the information for how you can reach them. So they're a mobile unit, but they're kind of based in Rossville. So it's a 706 phone number that you see there on your screen. The website is currently in development, but if you will like them on Facebook, it is Healthy Pets Mobile Veterinary Services. Did I get that right?
Yes, ma'am.
I think on Facebook it's Healthy Pets Mobile Vet. I think that's what you're going to find. But you Google it, and there they'll be. And then in 2 or 3 days, they'll be at your doorstep.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you both.